Hi, so this is just an overview, a look at the second volume of Fiends of the Eastern Front. I did last year, I think it was, I did an overview and a review of the first volume, which I do recommend you check out. It's in my playlist for 2000 AD Rebellion related items, and I gave it a really high recommendation. So it's by the same team who took over the second part of that book, because the first part was a story that came out in the late 70s, early 80s. And then there was nothing for about 15, 20 years. And then Ian Edgerton took over the writing and relaunched the story again. So basically, it's a perfect blend of vampire horror story and war comics. So I'll just read the synopsis on the back of this. So it says, in 1970, Lieutenant Tim Wilson is haunted by the memories of war, not just the bloodshed of the battlefield, but the horrors witnessed at the hand of Captain Constanta, who rescued him after a gruesome encounter with the king bats of Maximilian von Klaw, the Black Max himself. Now, the Black Max had his own comic series, which Rebellion have, from years ago, which Rebellion have collected in their Treasure of British Comics series of graphic novels, and there's been 3 volumes so far. I've not got them yet because the first volume's sold out, but it does look really, really good. I've got sniffles. So I do recommend checking those out if you can. Years later, Lieutenant Wilson sets on a journey to hunt down Constanta in his native Romania, and uncovers his origins amongst beasts and creatures of magic. So this follows Constanta's bloody trail across history and brings monstrous terror from the skies of wartime France to the streets of 1960s London. So there's 100, I think there's about 190 pages, story pages, from that time period. It covers, I think, from the, where's it from? Look. Yeah, I think it covers from the First World War through to the 1960s. Now, I've not read this yet, but I just want to show you some of the artwork. It's by the artist Chernan Trevelyan, who I think predominantly just worked for 2000 AD. He does a lot of storyboarding and stuff like that for films and TV. But his art style is so nice. It's got an almost like early Mignola from Cosmic Odyssey kind of period art style to it. He's one of the most, I think, unsung heroes of British comics. He's got such a unique style. One of my favourite artists around at the moment. Perfect for a horror comic. So the first story, because what I like about it as well, because the first story is set in wartime, they've kept it like an old black and white Universal film. It's just old grey tone, and then it shifts location in the next story. So now in the 20s, and this has got more like a Hammer horror feel to it. And they've introduced colour. Again with the same artist, and the artwork is just magnificent. But you'll see what I mean about the Mignola influence. There's like an influence, but it's not like a rip-off. And the colours are just really good as well. They do have some of the best colorists in 2000 AD. And then it jumps ahead. Show you that page before I show you. It jumps ahead to the 1963, and again we're back to black and white or grey tone. The one thing I really like about 2000 AD is because it's been an anthology, they don't restrict themselves to whether it's going to be a black and white story or a colour story. It's basically whatever suits the mood best. I mean, just look at that. What I like about a lot of 2000 AD artists, they don't just focus on doing figure drawing and leaving backgrounds blank. The backgrounds are always extremely detailed, and they don't skimp on the gore as well. And then the final story is a one shot from one of the Christmas bumper editions of 2000 AD. It's called Silent Night. And we're back in colour again. And there's a bit of back matter at the back page. They've got a cover gallery. This one's gorgeous, that one here. And there's some more as well. Yeah, and it shows you what I was saying about the Black Max, where you can get the collections. You can get them all digitally, but the first volume has sold out in physical format. It's £19.99 in the UK, $24.99 US, $33.99 Canada. I do recommend trying this. I absolutely adored the first one, but this, because I read this when it came out in the weekly comic as well, this is even stronger than the first book. It does get my seal of approval. Once I've read it again in this collected edition, I must will do a review of it as well, give you my more in-depth thoughts on it. But yeah, the 2000 AD graphic novels are such high quality, even though a lot of them are softback. That's very, very sturdy cover, and the paper quality is really thick, a lot thicker than what you see in American graphic novels, about twice the thickness. And yeah, and it's a nice oversized size as well if you compare it to an American size one. You see, it dwarfs it. So yeah, highly recommended. I can't wait to dive into this. I'm going to finish reading my Transformers book, then I'm going to read this, and then I'll read this. Okay, so I just thought I'd show you this because I think more and more people need to be aware of some of the lesser known 2000 AD titles that are out there, which are readily available from 2000ad.com. I'm not paid by them. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form. I'm just a super fan of 2000 AD. You can get it from 2000ad.com or Amazon or your local comic shop or any other providers. Okay, bye. Oops. Bye.